Yes, yes, yes. Welcome. I had promised you the beginning of this year, and that was some days back, that I will introduce you to one of the most powerful tools that will help you engage 2024 in all of its ramifications. I tell you of a truth, 2024 comes with so much of promises and opportunities, but also is going to come with so much of hurdles. And believe you me when I say hurdles, across board. When you look at the quadrant of the relationship, the quadrant of personal discovery and also personal awareness, the quadrant of business and marriage, even if you extend it also to leadership and also you extend it also to work life balance, all of that is going to be a complex whole. But then, because my job is about, fixing complex problem as well as wicked problem, and this is why I'm bringing this to you. And one of the tool I promise I'm going to bring is my personal invention called the Common Sense. And there's a lot that common sense will unravel to you. A lot of insight that will be very shocking at the point you get access to it. But the truth of the matter is I'll prefer to lay the foundation. I will make it like a series. And so it's going to come in bits and pieces. And if you follow through and you're consistent with my channel, then I can assure you that you get all that it takes to understand what common sense is. But let's start first. Before I even begin to unravel and explain the deeper, reason to why this is known as the pocket university, why this pack of card can play, arrange, and organize your life in such a way you never thought possible. Before I go deeper into why this pack of card will help you understand relationship, would unveil to you the heart of human beings, how they think, their thought, the construction, the system, and the structure of their mind. I want to lay one very, very important foundation for which, if you don't catch it, it really would not make sense, whatever I say afterwards. And that is the concept of the name called common sense. Now, why that name common sense? For many, the first biggest error most people believe in is that common sense means what you call commonality. Common sense means the democratization of values to the point where it becomes very cheap, easily accessible, something you can pick by the wayside. So, this is the belief most people have about common sense. So, when the concept of common sense comes, it's almost like, well, it's common sense. But believe you me, common sense is the highest sense in the universe. In the real worth of it, common sense is known as the seventh sense. And that is why behind you see that popular quote that says common sense is not common. Yet, despite the fact that we use it, we apply and deploy it in almost every circumstances. We've not stopped to ask ourselves if common sense is not common, why is it we're not going after common sense? Why is it that common sense have not become a target, a vision, something you can really catch? And the reason simply is because it's one of the highest form of senses. And if you don't understand the depth of it, if you don't understand its scope, if you don't understand the breadth and the width of common sense, you may fall into that trap of thinking it's just something you pick, by the wayside. But believe you me, the closest to the concept of common sense is the word wisdom and understanding. That is what it is. Now, let me break it. For you to appreciate common sense, you need to go back to the 15th century. You have to go back actually to the history of when education became formalized, when we started having what you call the documentations of thoughts, of ideas, of philosophies, and the rest of them. As a matter of fact, common sense actually emanates from an argument of philosophy. It became an alternative of thought by Thomas Reid, who at that point in time was almost like a student or a protege of home. But then eventually the argument brought to the point of arguing, what do you need to survive? What do you need to strive? What is to strive? What is it that you need as a human being to be able to really succeed in life? Is it the specialization knowledge to be so specialized in a field you call an expert? But unfortunately, your specialization does not rub on every other part of life, knowing fully well that specialization is just a unit of life. And that was where that argument came. And the whole concept of common sense emanated from the perspective that common sense is that kind of intelligence, is that kind of knowledge, that kind of state of mind where you have the capacity to deal with the commonalities of life, meaning that how do you deal with human beings across border, irrespective of class, irrespective of race, nationality, experiences, as in common sense actually is the first sense that is expected to help you become truly a global citizen, meaning it helps you to be able to thrive across religion. It helps you to be able to succeed and negotiate whatever the experiences level are. And that is actually the meaning of common sense. And that was why this was named. Now, Plato, in his own way, when he was discussing common sense, he saw it as what you call the spectrum of light and darkness, the spectrum of enlightenment. For Plato, common sense simply means to the degree to which you're coming out from light and then you're going into darkness. So you're coming out from enlightenment and you're going to ignorance, versus you're coming out from darkness and you're coming on to light. And challenge, the both challenge on both sides is on one side, you carry so much light. Entering into darkness means it gives you so much depth of appreciation of life, of human beings, of existence, of everything that makes up life. But on the other hand, also, if you're coming out from darkness, you're coming to an environment that becomes so enlightened, so bright that it may even, hurt your eyes. So to such an extent, it becomes a challenge for those who are going through the process of ignorance or who are coming out of ignorance to embrace the entire new world called light.